In this video, we are going to learn about the this keyword, which is a very useful keyword in the Java. So let's see the use of the this keyword in the Java. So the first use is that this can be used to refer the current class instance variable. And basically it solves the problem of instance variable hiding, or it is called as a shadowing. Okay, so let me explain this point with the help of example. Okay, so let's go through the class which we have already created, the class called mobile. Okay, so as you are aware that we had created the class mobile, and inside that we had created the constructor, the parameterized constructor, like this. Okay, so let me delete this third argument right now for a moment. Okay, and here if you see the local variable which we have declared for this constructor having a name that is model local. Now suppose guys, if I'm changing this local variable name from model local to model, and this one, the display size local to display size. Okay, so here immediately you can see that we have some issue over here. That's why this string become red. Okay, now what is the issue? The issue is that this local variable does not exist, so I cannot use it. Okay, so I have to make the correction over here also, that instead of model local it should be model, then and then it is going to work. Okay, now have you realized one more problem that we will have over here? Yes, the problem is what? If you see that we have declared these variables as an instance variable, right? These two are which kind of variable? Instance variable. Okay, all these are instance variables. Okay, so let me put this comment above all this. Yeah, so all these are instance variables, right? Here what is happening, that here if you observe that now these are the local variable which we have inside this constructor. Okay, so now the question would be that here I want to refer the instance variable, and here after equal sign I want to refer the local variable. Okay, but is it going to happen? No, it is not going to happen, right? Because here in this particular context, whatever variable that you mention, and if that variable is declared as a local variable, then the local variable would be referred first, then only that instance variable would be referred. So here that we have a problem that the local variable and the instance variable both are having the same name. So here this is the problem of what? It is hiding the instance variable. It is hiding what? Instance variable, or called shadowing, right? How this issue can be solved? This issue can be solved with the help of keyword called this, like this. So here you can see that I can write this dot model is equal to model. So this dot model would refer the instance variable model, and this model would refer the local variable, right? And here also we can solve the issue with the help of this keyword, like this dot display size. Okay, now here suppose if you want to prove that whether that this dot model is going to print the same value, or same as the local variable, or it is going to print the different value. Okay, so let me write the s out, so that you will get idea that here I'm just writing instance variable. Okay, so we are going to print the instance variable and the local variable when the constructor will be called. Okay, so let's go to the main class. Okay, there we are passing some value. Here we are passing this, right? So let me put this thing in the comment right now. I'm putting everything in the comment. I don't require it. Okay, and let me put this also in the comment. Sorry, I'm putting this into the comment. And from here just remove the comment. Okay, so we are going to call the parameterized constructor, right? This constructor is going to be called the mobile string model. Okay, and it is going to print this system.out.println. Okay, so let me run this and let me show you that how it is going to work. I'm just running it. Okay, before that, let me show you that what is the, like here, that we are assigning the value. Okay, here what we are doing, we are assigning the value. So by default, let me put this statement above this. Okay, this dot model. Yeah. Okay, so here you can see that when we don't assign, see here you can see this would be the case before assigning the value. Okay, so here this dot model would should print null, and the model, this model would print the value that is A50, which we are passing over here, right? Okay, so that is what going to happen. So let's run the main class and let's see the output. Yeah, so here you can see that it is printing that the instance variable model that is equal to null, and local variable model that is equal to A50. Okay, so this is the, like, we have solved the issue of what? We have solved the issue of instance variable hiding, okay, or shadowing, right? Let's let's go to the second point. So what is the second point? The second point says that this can be used to invoke the current class method implicitly. Okay, let me show you. So here, suppose in the model, this mobile class, if we have a method, let's say we have a method that is void set alarm. Okay, right? If we have a method like this, right? And we have another method, let's say, that is the return type. The return type of the method is the date. Okay, or let's take time. Sorry, let's take the date only. Date, and here I'm just writing get date, right? And it is going to return some date. Okay, we are not going to write the actual logic inside this right now. Okay, so here I'm just going to write the new date that is going to return the new date or current date and time. Okay, so here in the set alarm we require to get the time, right? So if I want to call this method straight away, I can call this method like this, get date. Okay, and I will get the date in this set alarm method. Okay, so actually I want to get the time. Okay, so that can be extracted from this get date. Okay, but implicitly what is going to happen, that when the Java is going to run this, right, at that time Java will do like this dot get date. Okay, what is the meaning of that? You are going to call the method of the same class, right? So implicitly this is going to happen. Okay, so explicitly if you want to write like this, you can do that. Okay, so this is the second point, that this can be used to invoke the current class method. The third one, this can be used to invoke the current class constructor. Yeah. So here, suppose from the constructor, this constructor. Okay. If you want to call another constructor, you can do that. Okay. So suppose if you want to call this parameterized constructor from the default constructor, what you can do? You can use this keyword like this. Okay, and inside that you can specify these values, like suppose if you want to specify A70, you can, and if you want to specify screen size, that is 6.7, this is what you can do. So you can call the constructor from another constructor. Okay, but this must be the first statement in the constructor, otherwise it will throw you the error. Suppose if I'm removing this from here and putting it over here, right? So now you can see there is an error. Okay, it says that this must be the first statement in the constructor body. Okay, so let me change this and let me put at first, right? Okay, next one, that this can be passed as an argument in the method call. Okay, so suppose if somewhere you require to have a method like this, that void do something. Okay, and here suppose you require to have the object of the same class that is to be passed. Okay, so let me write that I'm writing like this, that mobile. Okay, and we are going to do something over here, right? So if you require to pass this, okay, from the same class, suppose from the set alarm, okay, so how can you pass that? That do something, okay, and you can pass the reference of the object like this, that do something this. So whichever object, suppose here from the main, if you are if you are calling the method with the help of Samsung 2, right? So here this would refer to Samsung 2. Suppose later on, if that you have the Samsung or iPhone, at that time, whichever that method that you are using, sorry, whichever reference that you are using, based on that reference would be passed from here to here. Okay, so if you have called the set alarm method with the Samsung, then Samsung would be passed. If you have called the set alarm method with the help of iPhone, then iPhone will be passed. Is like that. Okay, so simply you are writing this, but ultimately what you are doing, you are just passing the reference over here. Okay. Next one, that this can be passed as an argument in the constructor call also, right? So this we can do the same thing like here. Suppose if you want to do, right, suppose if you have one more constructor like this, that mobile, that accept argument of the mobile class, right, like this, that mobile. So this is also possible. And how you can call this constructor? So instead of like, suppose if you want to call the constructor from here, what you can do, you can write this, okay, this, like this. Okay, so it is going to work like this? No, it is not going to work like this. Okay, right? Of course we cannot do this, right? But suppose if we have some another class, let's say that here, uh, let's try to create the object of, not object of the main, but let's have the constructor in the main. Okay, and assume that it requires the argument of the mobile like this. Okay, this is what we have. Now suppose if we want to call the constructor of the main, obviously we have to create the object of the main, then and then we can call the constructor. Okay, so suppose from the mobile, okay, over here, if I want to create the object of the main, right, I can create the object like this, that main is equal to new main, right, and inside that I can specify the argument this, right, as the main accept the argument of the mobile. That's why I could have specified this as an argument over here. Okay, okay, what next? The next one is that this can be used to return the current class instance from the method. Okay, let me show you with the help of example. Suppose assume that we have some another method, let's say return get reference of mobile. Okay, and here obviously the reference return method return type that we want over here is the mobile. Okay, so if you want to return the reference of the mobile, then you can like write like that, the return this. Okay, this is going to work. Okay, so whichever object of the mobile or reference of the mobile is calling this method, okay, its reference would be written from here. Okay, so these are the uses of this keyword in the Java. That's it for this.